thought you found it.
Hello, hello. Welcome to another Monday marketing meeting here for us here at Raisin. We're here every Monday on Arena for almost 2 years now, bringing to you our marketing ideas for our platform. If you want to know a little bit about who we are and what we do, Zaheen, take it away.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So, yes, we are fundraising. We empower artists, individuals, and communities to connect together to impact the world. Fundraising enables artists and sponsors to join forces, gather supporters, and transfer energy in the form of money to a beneficiary. Together, they create a campaign website, and then anyone can give their support by buying limited edition digital art. For any reason, fundraise.
Fundraising.
Fundraising.
Excellent. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Zaheen. And per usual, Mari, Kit, Eshmita, Zaheen, thank you so much for your time joining us here. Today, we are going to be discussing a bit more about building community. Last week, we spoke a little bit about that with unhinged content. And there was a really great reel on that we shared that kind of discusses where community building is kind of heading. And I'm going to bring that up right now. All right.
I know it's old news, but run clubs have exploded and it has nothing to do with running. They're a symptom of a bigger issue, and smart brands should pay attention. This generation is lonely. Friendship networks are shrinking, and people don't want digital connections anymore because they feel fake. People are searching for real connection, and run clubs work because they create incidental intimacy. You show up every week, you recognize faces, and you move together. That's something called parallel play, and it's how our brains naturally form trust. It's through repeated low pressure contact. And run clubs are also third spaces. They're neutral, low pressure environments outside of home and work. That hierarchy that exists that we're all used to, it completely disappears at run clubs, except when it comes to your mile time. But the point is that belonging is automatic. You get it just by showing up. And that's the playbook that every brand should follow. Design spaces, content, and rituals that lower friction and create repeated touch points. Because in the middle of a loneliness epidemic, the brands that win are the ones that make people feel less alone. I know it's old news.
There we go.
The brand.
I love this guy.
Also,
He-
did you notice in the camera angles, he's doing something very smart that we had noted on before? It's like quick movement action. He has the one set, and if he was just sitting in the chair, kind of like speaking regularly,
like
it would
we're
come
doing.
off very lecture. It would come off very podcasty. But by editing it in such a way that he's moving around, he's maintaining attention while getting his point across quickly. And in that, just beyond the content, I really like that video to begin with.
And I love how he does it. He does it in a very tongue-in-cheek way. It's like almost a little over the top. Like it's almost like okay, I know this works, so I'm doing it, and you're in on the joke too. So you should learn from that too. So you know what I mean, Benny?
Yes, and
Yeah.
I like this guy too. You said he was
Yeah,
from,
he was
maybe Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah, let's send them a link. Marty, you don't have to raise your hand. Just jump in, interrupt.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Probably it's because it's not my native language. But I don't like him.
Oh, really?
I'll be the Grinch this time. Yes.
Why not?
I like the content. I mean, he looks like he knows what he's talking about. But I don't like the editing of the video because it distracts me instead of making me stay focused. Because he's moving, different spots at the same time, and I'm like, okay, could you stay there and tell me what you want to tell me?
Well, I think we should have him as a guest on our podcast here, and you guys can talk about it.
Yeah, he'll stay in one spot. And it might just
Yeah.
be, it might very well be people consume information differently. Like there's auditory
Yeah.
learners, there's visual learners, and there's kinesthetic learners. And I'm a kinesthetic learner, which means I absorb best when there's a couple things going on. And so that works for me. Whereas if you're a more visual or audio learner, you're better off just closing your eyes during that video because
Yeah.
you following him around and probably distract you from what he's saying. But
And maybe the solution is somewhere in the middle, because I know for your Learn English videos that you do, Marty, you're very much in the focus and you are just saying this thing, and it's a very beautiful shot, very nicely framed, but his are more energetic. So, and it's also a personality thing. He's obviously a little more in the Benny territory than the Marty territory, as far as personality goes. So there's that. That's interesting. What do you think, Zaheen?
I
Ashmita?
pretty much like him. I like him because he's so animated. I think because in today's day it says that your concentration span only lasts for 2 seconds. So I feel he really adds on to that, and he keeps like the thrill going on in the reel. That why would anyone spend 30 seconds on a reel? Because we are constantly scrolling. So that is why I think he will modulate his voice. He will come up with different action to like to come like to spread his whatever the message he wants to come across in the reel. So I
No.
pretty much like it for that, because generally like whatever I think whatever content is now coming on social media is where people like in a video only will show how they will keep on showing different actions going around different. They will try to shoot from different angles in the same video just to keep that essence going. I feel that is what is trending right now. So
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Ashmita?
Also, I think I agree with Mari more because I want people to just stop somewhere and talk rather than just moving around. Because and also I partially agree with Zaheen given like I agree with Zaheen completely what's trending and all, but for myself it doesn't work. I think when people move around, I lose focus and I scroll somewhere else. So
Ah,
and then I'm like, if you cannot stand and say, then I'm very it's my so I think I'm also moving around with that person, and it just becomes at one point very annoying for me. So I
interesting.
in 2 seconds, as they said, my attention span goes away, and I scroll to a place where people are actually at one spot talking, or just sitting or like standing, doesn't matter, but just not moving around. And
Yeah.
overexcited people who start with like too much shouting and talking and moving around, I don't think I think I immediately scroll
You're
somewhere
just
else.
like next. This is
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I
well,
don't like too much, like overexciting. Like hey, this that. No, sorry. Okay, so next. So yeah, I think that's yeah.
what really draws me to this guy is not his freneticness, which I mean, I don't mind, and I think it's sort of fun, right?
The
But
content is good though.
I
It's just
like the content. Yes, it's very solid, and I mean, he's really on the pulse of. And we've talked about this. Benny brought this up. We were talking about, creating community, and so to hear that again and have that example of a running club. Benny and I were talking earlier and was mentioning you want to talk about
my
kickball, right? Or
kickball. I
yeah,
I joined a local kickball league. Just exactly that to try to like meet people, and it was on Sunday afternoons, and I enjoyed kickball. Most games I enjoy, but it was my first year playing. I was a freelancer, and so typically what they do is they'll take a freelancer and sign them to just some team that exists already. But there were so many freelancers this year that there was enough to just start its own team. So we had a full team of people. It was their first year playing kickball, first time doing the program, and we ended up having like even though we weren't practiced in the rules or necessarily like it wasn't always our greatest games, but we had a winning record just based on commitment, based on people showing up. And I think it's because we were unlike the other teams, whereas like if I wanted to start a team of my own, the burden is on me to go find people I know that, one, are available on Sundays, and two, like kickball. Whereas the team that we were able to form had the advantage of those prerequisites were already met by all the new people. And so we ended up building this small community just on those two factors alone. I think another thing that helped us out significantly within it is that we all shared that same level of we're new here. Like this is like we're looking to meet people. We're looking to kind of have that like social injunction, and that we were lacking before. And so it ended up being a lot of fun every week. I was looking forward to it. I started bringing snacks, and people would start like teammates would start bringing their spouses and kids, and we had spectators. And it, just as he said before, like I think it's loneliness has developed in such an interesting way in this century, like in the development of technology, because you can have a connection to someone. You can talk to, like, all of us are in separate rooms right now. None of us are in the same office. And so there is that hint of loneliness. There is that, because you are alone. You're separate but alone. And so exactly what he said, that the brands that survive are the ones that make people feel like they're integrated somehow. It's something to look forward to. It makes them feel like there's something that they're part of.
Yeah.
And so in terms of building the community, the position that we're in right now is we're the platform. We're the ones who are facilitating the building of communities. So
we are the organizers of the league.
Yes.
To use
so
your
we are the kickball commissioner. Ours is his name's Nick, but he's a great guy. He was in charge of registration, in charge of purchasing and maintaining equipment. He was the one who negotiated with the athletics fields to allow us to schedule games every week. He was the platform through which I was able to build a small kickball community. And that's where we're at now. Every campaign is a potential community.
Yes.
And then especially in instances where we can we can cross-reference multiple communities. It's like, hey, brain blast. We should have a way to kind of track people. We need an algorithm. If we see that people are donating specifically to pet campaigns, we should have a section that's of things you may like. It's like, hey, this person just started a campaign to fund this shelter. Here's the art available. It could be a scroll type thing where a for you section where it's like, hey, you might like this, and we can just tag in keywords.
And I think we have something even more like organic and powerful than an algorithm, in that we have these networks of connections. So this artist does this campaign for one sponsor, and then does it for a completely different sponsor for something else, and then you have all the supporters from the previous campaign who can be told, hey, this artist is doing more art in this other campaign right there. And I mean, it's a very simple algorithm and also very organic, and sort of be like, okay, and you can. So I think in the near future, we need this sort of click through what other campaigns is this artist working on, some push notifications, and I think we need some chat rooms. I think we need a place for people to meet. Like this guy was, and by the way, this guy, I keep calling him Neiman, is Neiman's View. So, and I don't know too much more about him except that's his last name, Neiman, and I just found him on Instagram, And I think, yeah, I just think that the more tools we can create, the more places, these spaces we can create where people can meet, and then we can see what's working and what's not, right? And we should by all means leverage social media. For instance, we could leverage Reddit as a meeting place in the short run before we have our own sort of chat room. We can just create spaces using Reddit or some other social media where people can do that networking.
I think chat's a great idea. That is one thing that's has gone in leaps and bounds. People like to leave comments. People want to be able to throw in their 2 cents.
2 cents, yes.
Speaking of throwing in your 2 cents, Mari, what is a community that what's a community that you feel you like benefited from? And I don't mean necessarily it doesn't have to be like a big one. Like I'm not gonna say like a hometown, but like even a small one at like school. What do you think is what's an example of a community that you were in, and why do you think it was able to facilitate that benefit?
That's a hard word.
I'd like to hear about your school. You know,
Yeah.
where you were teaching, right? This.
Are your sunglasses real?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was
god!
I think these are the swag from the summit,
Oh
right,
yeah.
Mari?
Oh, look at
Awesome.
that.
I thought
Very-
that was part of the.
so did I.
Wow.
I was like, hey, but Marty, about your where you volunteered, your teaching, oh, maybe or
Oh yeah.
school, like I saw you posting some stuff about how great it was to connect with people there. So maybe talk about that one. What about that?
Um. Yeah. The thing is, oof, I mean, there are too many different communities I've participated. Small, medium, big. I would consider this one as I participated as volunteering teaching Spanish. Pretty small, and there were just people that wanted to teach Spanish to, and also teaching how to write, how to read for African people that didn't have that opportunity. So basically, most of the people that we're doing that are foreigners. Like for instance, I'm from Venezuela, and other people from United States that Spanish is their second language, and they were
And
like, you know,
you're in Spain, in Catalonia.
yes, yes, in Catalonia, and then our project was in Catalan. Um, and yeah, we were participating in some cultural activities with them, learning about the Spanish culture and Catalan culture as well. So it was an interesting thing. Our path of communication was mainly WhatsApp group, and
I love that.
they have
Wait, so
active their social media.
was it
I
a
actually have a video if you want to watch it. I can
yeah?
share.
Sure, sure. And I'm just thinking WhatsApp might be the first thing we do. I don't know. Uh, WhatsApp, do you still have to divulge your phone number, or can you just give somebody a link to chat with you?
They
Or
have to register. I can talk
I
about
think
that too.
you can give a link, like link to the chat group.
yeah, because maybe we automatically create a chat group in WhatsApp for everybody to talk, for
So,
instance.
Mari,
Yeah.
was this a community of teachers, of like volunteer educators, or did
Well,
you have students?
yes, only volunteer people. Um, yeah, I tell you, a few years ago when I started on TikTok, I created a community on WhatsApp without knowing how to create it, and I got hundred of people there.
That's
And
awesome.
then
See, you're the commissioner. You're
I
creating.
abandoned it because I didn't know how to handle it. I was finishing my career. I was, I was in a moment where I couldn't, I was not the person to handle a community. Probably if I had some help with it, it would have survived, but I killed it. I'm sorry. If you can kill a community, yes, you can kill it. I mean, just abandon it, and then they will forget about you. So
they
things.
say that
It,
the person who creates the community, it's okay for you to kill the community as well. I don't know if
yeah,
that's true or not, but we'll just say that's okay.
I'm trying to rebuild it, but in a more mature way. Of before, I was offering them everyday content, and
Ah,
when I couldn't do it anymore,
ah,
it died, and
so
then
it was too
I
much.
it was too much. And right now I am like only on weekend, and they say, what other day? No, only on weekend. Yeah. And then if I tell them, if you have more friends interested, let's see if I can open another spot, but only weekend. And then you work and do your homework, your tasks. And right now I have like 20 people on Telegram, and I change from WhatsApp to Telegram because WhatsApp, I didn't like people to have my phone number.
Mm.
Right,
That's
sure.
one thing. And in Telegram, they just are invited through a link. So that's the difference. They would prefer more WhatsApp because most of people use WhatsApp more than Telegram. Um, but I was like, I didn't want to. I don't have any other phone number for doing this specific for community on WhatsApp. So if we do that, we need another that is not personal phone number for
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
because at risky. Then I receive every single day calls from no, I don't know who is calling, and
Yes.
I'm like,
We should get a fundraising landline. We'll use that number for
ooh,
everything. We'll put it all
Mhm.
over the internet, and it just leads to one phone, probably somewhere quiet. It could be like an antique old phone, like a radial dial one.
We can have a live
Ow!
webcam.
Yeah. No, I'm so like that. That's a perfect example. So like just in teaching people Spanish already, you are indoctrinated into that is the indoctrination into a community is learning the language. There's two types of people, Spanish speakers and non-Spanish speakers. And so especially if you're in an instance where you can share that with someone, that's an in. That's a connection. That's something that you have in common that other people don't necessarily like may not necessarily have elsewhere. And I'm just extrapolating that to a time where there's going to be I don't know, two kids on a college campus who have the same NFT printed on the front of their shirt, and they're gonna be like, "No way, you donated to blah 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 too." Uh, it's it's um, it's commonality, and that's people are lonely. People more and more so we're becoming an isolated species because we realized
Hmm.
we can be. Well, after we had to be with COVID, we realized that we could be. And while it does save a significant amount of resources, they're already seeing kind of social like backlash in the generations that were educated in the virtual age. Like I feel really bad for the kids who just started kindergarten and first grade and they get in and they start getting used to school and then out of nowhere they're like, hey, you're not going in to have hands-on time with other kids anymore. You're going to be sitting in front of a screen for 4 to 8 hours a day and you have to just sit there and do it. I think that's
Yeah, that was nuts.
there's I think that we're going to see or I've already begun to see levels of disconnect, ways that we might be used to or accustomed to treating people may be altered slightly. um
Yeah. Uh, Benny, when you're talking about ways to disconnect, I'll slightly digress and talk about ways to connect.
yes.
Like, yeah, like we were talking about building communities. So thinking about that, we should be like, I know we have talked about it before. Maybe we can talk about it again. Is like how, like, for instance, an artist reached out to me, referring other artists today, that how she wanted the other artist also to be a part of fundraising, and is fundraising available for artists now. So what we should I think again, refocus is making probably a chat room for artists whom we have already contacted, who has already given an affirmative, so that we they can refer to us, like whoever they are talking to, because I'm sure as artists they also have their own communities, so they can all be a part of the larger community of fundraising artists.
Yeah, and how what form what tools do you think would be most WhatsApp or Telegram or what would
Subreddit.
be
We have the main fundraising page. We
subreddit?
can
Yeah,
have subreddits within it, and then that would be especially beneficial for having. We could have an artist subreddit, a sponsor subreddit, a beneficiary subreddit, and then it can even cross-reference frequently asked
love it.
questions. I definitely want to start with the artist chat though, because that's going to be one of the first ways like we can have people help each other in like creating art packs, or like, hey,
Yeah.
this particular file didn't load, and they'll be like, oh, that happened to me, try this.
Yes.
Yeah, and also you all wouldn't believe what the artist said, that the other artist can make 3D cats, 3D cat patterns for us. So maybe
Oh,
our our cat
Awesome.
memes are really reaching out to people. That's the reason
Big fan.
I chose this cat today.
Ah, I have my cat ears on too. We're just
yeah.
this is a
I'll,
it's
I'll just go back to this guy Neiman. That was another bit of his advice: is do inexpensive ads. Like don't on another reel. He's like, don't spend a lot of money, don't spend a lot of time because you don't know what's going to catch fire. And it's so true as what we've found out with these cat memes. All of a sudden, it's like that's what got some traction. Silliest thing, And so now Zahina has a cat on her head.
that's honestly so true. And from like you're never like, people's enjoyment is completely subjective, and so you never know if they're going to be the type of person who like, no, I need like high production value, or I need like a particular lighting or something like that. Someone might be picky about those things, whereas other people might appreciate the lack of that, like lo-fi. Like some of my favorite music is stuff that sounds like it was recorded on a cruddy tape recorder, because a lot of it was. Uh,
Yes.
but like lo-fi doesn't mean the content is bad, just the recording
Yeah.
medium. And if you can
Well,
listen past that, and like what you're actually looking for is the content. Um,
yeah.
really good point, Zaheen. Just a bunch of fundraising felines. I love our cat memes. I like that. I like that. That's the direction that we've been orienting
I'm sure. I'm
everything.
sure there are a few people who are like, oh, but but that's okay. We're not. We don't have to please everybody with every post, and so we do what we can. Uh,
Ashmita,
yeah.
what's the
Yeah.
oh, sorry.
Go
What's
ahead. Go
the
ahead, Benny.
I was gonna say, Ashmita, between yourself being a music lover and a very talented visual artist, what's a small community that you were a part of, and something that you think made it beneficial or successful?
Right now, I think for a long time I have been involved in communities like working there. I do on weekends. I think, and I already, my kid knows about it. So we work on like various sectors, like with old people. We help them. So yeah, so that's one thing I haven't been involved for a long time now. So that's a community I'm involved in right now. It is very insightful and new learning for me because I never really did something like this before. So that was great, and I'm still doing it. So and I would continue to do so. That's a new one. Before that, I have been involved in communities like art, not art. Like it should be like I would say cultural communities. So where you can just meet interesting people from different like multidisciplinary, I think, art and culture and others, like there will be musicians too, like poet, like writers, anyone. So you can just talk and interact and understand perspectives and just people's journey in general. So I have done that also in and also I have been involved with the Sikh temple, like so it's by the for the it's called Gurdwara. The temples are called. So I have been part of that, and I've served meals to people. They actually provide free meals for everybody. I think.
Food. We haven't
Food.
talked about food. That's
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So it's called langar. So anyone can come in. It is no bar for like any religion, anything. No problem. Like, and it's for free. So and it's served by the people there, and they make their food over there as well for I think thousands of people every day. So I have
Oh
done that.
wow.
Yeah.
So
So
Ashmita, I was at dinner years ago with my sister in Philadelphia at an Indian restaurant. This is before I even had been to India, and the food
yeah.
was so good. And it was a Sikh guy who was serving us. And it was a small restaurant, and he came over to our table, and he was just so warm and friendly. And he was just like, "How is the food?" And I'm like, "It is so delicious." And my sister's like, "It is amazing. This food's delicious." And he's like, "You know why it's so delicious?" And they were like, "No." And he's like, "It's because we make it with love."
Uh,
I
Yeah.
was like, I nearly,
Yeah, it's actually true. Like they put so much love into this. They
yeah.
are, and it's so much to actually. I think it takes so much to feed so many people every day, and you can just anyone like you can just move go there and just like start eating. Like if you can, so that's it's as simple as that. There's no entry fee. There's no restrictions. There's no restrictions to how many people can eat. It's just it's just very very welcoming. I think no one else really does that on the regular basis, and I really have a lot of respect from them for them because
Mm,
that's the tradition and culture. I think um that's how I don't know, like generous they are.
mm,
So yeah, that's a pretty nice thing. If you go there, even you can serve if you want to. You can say, "Yeah, I want to take part in this," and they're more than happy to include you. They actually encourage. So, and all the cooking, everything is done by volunteers, and yeah, so you can be a volunteer anytime you go to the temple, like the Sikh temple, and yeah, so and you can just start. It doesn't matter if you're new to the place or old, or it doesn't matter anyway. And then and this applies to any Sikh temple across the world. So yeah, so that's pretty good. So
Man, that is so. That's a really good point. A I just keep hearing transfers of energy. You know,
yeah.
people want to learn Spanish with Mari so that they can communicate. They can transfer thought, language, love.
Mhm.
Uh, with Ashmita, it's food. Absolutely, like food is 1,000% energy, and they're literally transferring it. It's not just made with love, but it's nourishment. And so, what sounds like a a key point to building successful communities is having a poignant core at heart, and so I think we're in great position for that, considering
yeah.
that's like the landmark of our platform. Um,
Cool. Yeah.
all right, so subreddits, fantastic idea, and also just making the just current artists aware that they exist. Like certain things
Yes.
when they um, people got to know about them to use them. So excellent.
Well, I think Marty brought up an excellent point that we need to help them, especially as we're bootstrapping with curation and just hosting the communities because it is a challenge, to keep a community together.
I think another great way is for just I think team input. So like after I create the artist subreddit, Ajmita, if you'd be willing, just kind of giving Ajmita and Mar, anyone who's made an art pack, just kind of being able to drop bits of experience Like, hey, here's a little trick I learned, depending on if you're using Windows or whatever, just things that you do normally, but think other people can benefit from that you might not necessarily thought of right at the beginning. Great. Well, Arena, chat, viewers, keep an eye out for our subreddits, and please feel free to indoctrinate yourself into our community. You got to hit us up on social medias or here in the arena, especially if you're an artist or you have a cause or project in mind that you want to see energy transferred into, especially if it's, man, a local kickball league or serving food or Spanish lessons or any such thing. Because no matter what you want to raise money for any reason,
Fundraising.